Joining us for more is Masa Takeda. He is portfolio manager at the Hennessy Japan Fund. It's great to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
People are very bullish on Japan because, look, they've taken measures to basically say we want companies to increase their value on the stock market. They also have this currency working in their favor. But then there's been a bit of a kind of a little bit less clarity lately. What do you foresee in terms of possibility?
Well, there have been a lot of things going on in Japan. I think if I were to single out one big driver of the Japanese stock market is really the changing corporate governance standards in a good way. So that is about having a strong focus on businesses' capital efficiency, which was pretty much non-existent 5, 10, 20, 25 years ago. And that's because culturally, the country has never embraced Western capitalism. I'm not saying that's the best form of capitalism, but in Japan, it's been a few and far between.
Is it starting to do so now, though?
Yes.
Yeah. Why do you think? And that's pretty significant.
Right. So it's actually the result of many different events that took place probably over the last 10 years. First and foremost, under Abenomics, we introduced Stewardship Code and Corporate Governance Code back in 2014, 2015. And since then, it has been making slow yet steady progress. And then in the last few years, activist firms making their way to Japan, Warren Buffett making a surprise visit, making favorable comments about Japan for the first time, and then the Tokyo Stock Exchange is the directive. And so all of these things led the world to believe something is going on.
We were just talking about some more domestic impacts of an incoming Trump administration and policy uncertainty. But when it comes to protectionism, tariffs, nationalism impact, if it's not just the U.S., if there are responses around the globe to this, how does that affect your Japan optimism?
Well, so I'm a macro agnostic guy, so there will be some parts of the portfolio that will be hit hard. But then again, there is also proposed tax cuts, as I understand. So that's going to benefit Japanese companies that operate in the U.S. And then, of course, tariffs, it's going to mostly hit manufacturers, tangible goods. There are Japanese companies that provide services and financial services included. So all in all, I think as long as you carefully select the right companies, you can still do great by investing in Japanese companies.
So one of your top picks is Oryx, which is about inbound tourism, and I guess that's an example.
Right. Well, it's more of a domestic theme when it comes to inbound tourism because there's a booming Japanese inbound tourism in Japan at the moment. Oryx owns Kansai International Airport, which is a monopoly business in the Kansai region. They run aircraft leasing business, which is the third largest in the world. And then there's hotel operations, hotel property business, and so forth. These are big business.
Oh yeah, the people are talking so much about how cheap, great hotels are in Japan right now. What an opportunity it is. Seven & I don't know what's going to happen maybe with any kind of M&A there. You've got Sony. So what would you say about those? And do you think this is stock picking? You can't just hold the market more broadly?
Well, so with Seven & I, you know what is happening with Seven & I with Couche-Tard. We are also pretty much agnostic on this because this event itself has put a solid floor under the share price for Seven & I. And then on the upside, there's a huge growth runway for Seven & I, the convenience store business, because the U.S., they have #1 market share, but it's only 8%, wow. And very fragmented. So a lot of scope for roll-ups. Sony, they turned into entertainment-focused conglomerate over the last 10 years. They're no longer a troubled manufacturer. They have a lot of intellectual property assets, animation, music rights, gaming titles, and so on. And these are attractive businesses inherently, in my opinion.
All right. Masa, thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it today.
Thank you very much.
Masa Takeda with the Hennessy Japan Fund.